call to order the Douglasville City Council Legislative Work Session for tonight, which is January the 30th. Our invocation will be done by Reverend Dr. Edwin Jones of the Bright Star United Methodist Church, and after that, we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by our Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Terry Miller. Following that, we'll have announcements and presentations. I would ask that you would please stand for the invocation.
Let us pray. Loving and gracious God, we thank you that you have blessed us with a brand new year, an election year, the year 2020. We ask that you will grant unto us new vision, new guidance, new direction. Bless us so that we may use the gifts and the talents and the abilities that you have given us to make Douglasville and Douglas County the best that it can ever be. Into your care and keeping we commit ourselves. We ask it in your name and for your sake, with thanksgiving in our hearts. Amen. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem and Pastor Jones. We appreciate the invocation and the prayer. Happy New Year. Our announcements and presentations. I have a proclamation declaring the first Thursday of every February as Optimist Day to Mrs. Diane Connors, President of the Optimist Club for Douglasville Chapter, and Ms. Gwen Gable, District Immediate Past Governor of the Optimist International. I will read the proclamation and then we'll ask Ms. Connors to come forward and give any remarks, and your past governor as well, if you would like to, and then we will take a photo with the club members that you have here with myself and the City Council. Office of the Mayor Proclamation, Optimist Day. The first Thursday of every February, whereas volunteers working with young people who are our joy of today and hope for tomorrow are exuberant, representing the potential to be reached and dreams to come true. They also are unbound in their enthusiasm to use their talents, gifts, and hard work to make a difference in others' lives. And whereas members of the Optimist International will celebrate Optimist Day throughout the world the first Thursday of every February to promote their efforts in helping and recognizing the young people that make a difference in their communities and who will encourage a greater exchange of ideals between young people and adults. And whereas there are 2,400 Optimist clubs with more than 70,000 members, and Optimist International and Optimist members throughout the world that carry out more than 6,500 service projects that serve 6 million young people a year. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Rochelle Robinson, Mayor of the City of Douglasville, issue this proclamation declaring the first Thursday of every February as Optimist Day in the City of Douglasville. May this day instill pride in our city's optimists for all of their accomplishments, and for the impact they have to truly make a difference in others' lives. So proclaimed this 30th day of January 2020. So, Ms. Diane, if you'd like to come forward and have words, please give us your name and address for the record, and then you may talk, and if you want your past governor to speak, that's fine as well.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mayor Robinson. I'd like Governor Gwen Gable and also our Lieutenant Governor, Gerald Johnson, is here as well. He's the Lieutenant Governor.
Oh, great.
Our district.
Yes, ma'am. So, Ms. Diane, if you can give us your name and address for the record. I know you live in Douglasville, so we just want to have it just for the public.
Okay. Diane Connors. It's 5635 Toccoa Drive, Douglasville, Georgia, 30135.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you so much for the proclamation.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I have also some flyers I'd like to share with you all. And it's so nice to see everyone. Our club is doing outstanding things in the community. I'm very proud of that. I'd like for my governor
Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mayor Johnson and all the members of the City Council. As immediate past governor of the great Gateway District, as we are known, of all of Georgia and East Tennessee, GATE, Gateway, it is such a privilege to be here this evening and to have the honor of traveling our great district to visit many city councils and just meeting the mayors in all the different cities and having these proclamations made. February is a great month for our great organization, and I have to commend the Douglasville chapter of our Optimist International organization. Because of them, we have had a fabulous year this past year. Because of the difference members of your community have made by stepping into action, not only by joining our club perhaps, because there's always an invitation for someone to do that, but by just supporting the club and to come out and support the various activities that this club sponsors within the community. Our goal is to bring out the best in children, but it's also to bring out the best in adults, all of the members of our community, whether they be homeless, whether they be veterans, whoever they are. And we know we are better because of it. So thank you all very much for your time tonight. Again, it was an honor to serve this last year of the governor as governor of our district, and to get to know Diane and all the members of this club and to see the impact they have made and will continue to make in your great community. So I hail from the Decatur area. It's a quick drive out. It's always a pleasure being out here, and also to see your beautiful facility. It is a phenomenal facility, so I commend everyone who has made that happen over the past years. And Gerald, if you'd like to say hello tonight.
Okay. Thank you, Gwen.
Good
Ms.
evening.
Mayor, City Council members, I feel like I'm at home, even though I live down the road in Carrollton, Georgia. My wife teaches at Douglas County High School,
Oh, great.
and I actually used to be your state representative
Oh, wow.
years ago, back in the 1970s, 1980s. So Douglas County to me is home, even though I don't live here. I want to do something that neither one of these two ladies really did. I want to brag on the Douglasville Club a minute, if I could.
Yes, sir.
The Douglasville Optimist Club was established about 4 years ago, and it was the last club built in the old Georgia district of Optimist International. The next year, we merged with Eastern Tennessee to become the Gateway District. So the Douglasville Club has a very special history, and I was one of the builders of the Douglasville Club, so they're very, very special to me. But during the past year, the Douglasville Club achieved what is called Honor Club status, which is a status granted by Optimist International to those clubs that meet several guidelines of compliance and achievement. And Douglasville Club is one of the few clubs in Georgia that has achieved that this past year. So I want to congratulate them on that achievement. Thank you for your service to the community. And as a true optimist, I don't want to hesitate and leave this room without inviting each of you to join the Optimist Club. I know Terry is a member, and also anyone in the audience that is interested in serving the youth and families of Douglas County, to please contact Miss Diane and join the club too. We'd love to have you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We
And it's our diapers and wipes drive in celebration of Optimist Day. So this is for youth bags. We are 270 children in Fosterville in Douglas County. And there's 40 of those children under the age of 4 that are in diaper wearing age. So these would certainly be something that they could utilize
Yes, ma'am.
in that drive in this county at this time.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Diane, do you have a flyer? Could you leave it with our city clerk, Miss Acker, and we'll make certain that we distribute that information and possibly put it on our website to, and it has all the information as where you can drop the diapers and wipes off? Yes, ma'am.
Location at Longhorn, location at the Sheriff's Department lobby, and a location at Synovus Bank on Church Street.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you so much. We will come around and take a picture. We want to congratulate you. Let's give them a hand again and thank Lieutenant Governor and Governor for coming.
Thank you.
If your members will come forward, please, we can make a photo.
Come in real tight over here. No, you're absolutely fine. All right, there we go, perfect. All right, big smiles, everybody. 1 second. Absolutely. All right, there we go, big smiles once more. Perfect. All right, thank you.
Well, that was fun. We've done a presentation, and now we'll do the announcements on protocol and how the meeting will go this evening. And after that, we'll follow the agenda that was printed and should be out on the table. I'd like to welcome you again to the Douglasville City Council work session. This is a legislative work session where business will not, we won't take a vote tonight. We'll just hear the information, and the meeting will take a vote on the information tonight on Monday. And so, if you would like to speak to us, there is forms that are located outside on the desk. We ask you to please fill those forms out and hand them to our city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker. And when you come to the microphone, give your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to speak to us. And so therefore, agenda items that are located here. And if there's something during the time of a zoning matter, we'll give 30 minutes for those in favor of the zoning matter and 30 minutes for those in opposition, and each person has 5 minutes to speak. And we ask that you would keep your comments on a professional level and not make personal attacks, please. And you'll have 5 minutes again, and the chair will give the information and have the person come and present the applicant. And that's kind of how the meeting will go. So if you have a cell phone or electronic device, we ask you put them in silent mode, please, so they won't be disruptive. And that's how the meeting will follow. I'm thinking that's all. I don't have my script tonight. Okay. So we'll move on now with the first agenda item, which is Economic Development Committee, and that's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have one item tonight under the Economic Development Committee.
Mm-hmm.
That is to appoint a member of the governing body of the City of Douglasville to the post 7 position on the city's Downtown Development Authority, with the term expiring at the end of said member's term of office.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Chelsea Jackson, 6695 Church Street. On January 10th, Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller resigned from the Downtown Development Authority, leaving post 7 seat vacant. So therefore, on Monday night, you all will have a ballot to vote for an individual to fill that vacancy.
Okay.
Any questions, or would you like to have any comments about the Downtown Development Authority while you're at it? Thank you. Do we think have anything else on that? Madam Mayor, that's the only item we have tonight under Economic Development. I guess we'll take a vote on Monday to select my successor.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. We'll move on to Finance Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Appreciate the opportunity. We have 4 items tonight under finance. First is to authorize the mayor to sign change order number 1 to the city's construction contract of November 30th, 2018 with Raylin and Associates Incorporated for the city's Cedar Mountain Road Facility project. Ms. Amy, if you would help us with that, as you have discussed with us already in our committee meeting this afternoon, just bring us up to date where we are, please.
So this change order is for the precast building and the wash bay changes associated with the additional wash bay equipment and everything involved with that scope of work. The funding for this project has already been included into the overall project, so there is no additional cost at this point.
Thank you, Ms. Tizencheck. I know that you all have had the opportunity in our committee meetings earlier to discuss this. I was very impressed with everything that's gone on there on that project, that we are not over budget, except where possibly we have self-inflicted ourselves to do some additional improvements while we're there doing the project. But I'm really appreciative that we've been able to accommodate this. Questions, comments? Okay. Any reason that I could not ask this be placed on the consent agenda for Monday? Thank you. We'll move on to item B. Stay right there, Ms. Tizencheck. Are you still, no? Are you still with us on this one? I don't think so. I don't think you are. I think you're all right. Item B, authorize the mayor to sign a sales order agreement with ADP LLC for employee time clock equipment and services. Ms. Callen, can you help us, please?
Yes, Karen Callen, Finance Director, 6695 Church Street. This is for a new time clock for the new Cedar Mountain building. The annual fee is $1,617.
Questions, comments? Once again, we discussed this in committee, and this is a necessary item for the new facility, which will be opening in February. Question or comment of council? Madam Mayor?
No, sir.
Seeing none, I'd like for this also to be placed on the consent agenda for Monday. Thank you, Ms. Callen. Item 3, authorize the mayor to sign an option contract to sell the city's John Wynn building at 8644 Hamilton Street to the Cultural Arts Council, Douglasville, Douglas County. Ms. Jackson?
Yes, good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Chelsea Jackson, 6695 Church Street. A facilities assessment was completed on the John Will building on June 6, 2018, during a facilities assessment of all city buildings. After completion, the Wynn building was rated at a below average condition, which meant major renovation was required. The current cost of renovating the facility would cost the city around $116,000 to complete the major renovation to bring the facility up to date. Due to the cost and conditions of the facility, Mayor and Council discussed with staff the possibilities of selling the building, but also for the building to remain as a museum. The building was appraised on June 2019 at $75,000, which is less than the amount it would take to renovate. At the direction of council, staff completed a proposal to rezone the property from PSP to PSP with conditions restricting the use to museum or art gallery, nonprofit, and to amend text to the UDO to allow museum or art gallery, nonprofit as a principal use as public or semi-public district. And on August 1st, 2019, Mayor and Council referred the proposal to the Planning Commission. On November 4th, the item was approved by the Planning Commission, and after approval, the city advertised and accepted sealed bids for the property from December 3rd to December 20th, 2019, and received one bid from the Douglasville, Douglas County Cultural Arts Council for the amount of $1,001. Before you, you will find a contract for the sale to the CAC, and if approved, closing will take place on April 14th. The CAC will be responsible for securing a closing attorney as well as any closing costs.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Do we have questions concerning this item? Council, Madam Mayor?
I don't have any questions. I do have a comment, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to inform the council that I did speak with the executive director, Ms. Emily Leitner, earlier this week, executive director for the Cultural Arts Council, and they are in the process of doing an assessment from the community to see what programs should be held at this building, and they will present that to us during our budget hearings. So just wanted to let you know that they're very excited about the possibilities, and they're already anticipating great use for this facility. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Others? Would there be any public comment on this item? We'll just give that opportunity. Seeing none, then in the site that we have new council members with us that were not here when this process was started, I will withhold requests for going to the agenda. We'll leave it on the agenda for a vote on Monday. Thank you very much. Last item, adopt a resolution authorizing the sale of used playground set without the need for advertising or bidding. Landrum is going to help us with that item.
Good evening, Travis Landrum, Parks and Recreation Director, 8830 Gurley Road, Douglasville, Georgia, 30134. This item was discussed in the committee's meeting regarding our interest in selling the equipment at the Mill Village Park, the playground, needing a resolution to be adopted. There was some concern regarding safety and liability that I would like to ask Ms. Susan Littlefield to provide feedback on.
Thank you. It's my understanding you have some concern that if child is hurt on this later, that we may have some liability. What we'll do to keep that from happening is to give the church a bill of sale that disclaims liability and says that they're taking it as is.
Other questions or comments?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, not
Yes, ma'am.
specifically about the playground equipment, but I did want to thank the community for Mill Village. We had a groundbreaking today for the parks, and part of that renovation for the park is to disable this equipment and to put new equipment into the Mill Village and playground. And so that park is really, the community was overwhelming. All the seats were full and there was standing room only. And so we're very, very excited and appreciative of the community coming out, the members who live in the Mill Village, the church, and everyone in the whole community. People from all over came over today. So we're really excited. I want to personally thank all of the community partners for coming out. And I know this is the first of our 3 park renovations that we have to help with our Parks Master Plan. We have Jesse Davis Park coming online, as well as Willing Workers. So just excited about the people in the Mill Village area and that groundbreaking today. I just wanted to say that. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Chairman.
Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Is there a problem if we wanted to place this on the consent agenda, council? Okay, seeing none, I'd ask that that be done. Mr. Landrum, thank you so much for your help today.
Thank you.
Great job. Madam Mayor, that's all that we have under finance tonight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Finance Chair.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. We'll move on to Housing and Community Affairs Committee, and that's chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Danley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have one
welcome.
item tonight, and it is to hold a public hearing and adopt a resolution approving tax exclusions for interest on proposed private activity bonds for a proposed 288-unit multifamily affordable housing project to be known as the Reserves at Douglasville, to be located at 7669 and 7755 Highway 92 in the city of Douglasville. Application by Reserves at Douglasville, LLC. Ms. Patrice, you make comments?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. This item is related to the apartment development that was approved by Mayor and Council fall of 2019, and the applicant will be in on Monday to discuss the item at 5 o'clock, and then you will have an opportunity to vote on it at 6 o'clock Monday night.
Okay. Also, I'd like to make a comment before I open the floor for a public hearing, is that myself and Councilman Davis met with the developer along with staff in regards to the tax exclusion, and just wanted to let the council, mayor and council know that this is not a tax exempt project where it will include any lower income that we're typically used to. It's very similar to the taxes that we do on the conference center. So I just want to make sure that that is clear. And if there were any questions or comments that anyone would like to make. Okay, if not, I'd like to open the floor for those that are for this approval. Okay, if there aren't any, I'd like to close that for those that are for it and open for those that are against this resolution. All right, looks like we're doing well. All right, Madam Mayor, I have no other items, and we'll address this on Monday.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. We'll move on to Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
Yes, Madam Mayor, no items at this time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Councilman Davis. Personnel and Organization Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have one item
Welcome.
tonight on the Personnel and Organization.
Mm-hmm.
Adopt an ordinance to amend various sections of the Personnel Policies and Procedures Ordinance to eliminate employees' ability to carry accrued compensatory time and to require payout. Ms. Bing.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. This item before you, as discussed in committees meetings this evening, is a request to amend our personnel policies and procedures to eliminate compensatory time from our books and to require the employees who have a current balance to be paid out. Our compensatory time here at the city has ceased. We no longer allow accrual, but we would like to propose the time that is accrued right now to be paid out to those affected employees.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? We discussed this tonight in committee meetings. Anybody have a public statement they want to make about this? Thank you, Ms. Bing. Madam Mayor, that's all we had tonight under Personnel and Organization. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Ms. Austin Bean, you have something else?
I just wanted to mention, if you would like to move forward with it, we would recommend us putting it on the consent agenda if it's your pleasure.
Ms. Bing, I messed up last time, and she's catching me on it tonight. Yes, I would like to ask this to be placed on the consent agenda.
Okay. Any concerns about this
Any
item being
concerns
on the
with that?
consent agenda?
All right, thank you.
That's okay. It's okay, Coach. We got it. Thanks so much. We'll move on to item 10, which is Planning and Development Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Planning and Development Committee, we have several items tonight to discuss. The first is to adopt a resolution to amend the 2018 Douglasville Comprehensive Plan Short-Term Work Program Housing Section. Ms. Williams?
All right, Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. Staff was recently approached by Habitat for Humanity with a request to the city to amend the 2018 Douglasville Comprehensive Plan for the short-term work program housing section. If you recall, Habitat, along with several local partners, have dedicated 3 houses in what is known as Veterans Place. Habitat is applying for a Community Home Investment Program grant from the Georgia Department of Community Affairs in hopes of completing the project, which would have a total of 8 houses dedicated to local veterans. Out of 1,300 affiliates nationwide, Veterans Place in Douglasville is one of 2 affiliates that have embarked on a military-only neighborhood. This request, our application, does not hold the city responsible for the project.
Okay. Questions, comments? No discussion? This is my first review of the item, so I want to make sure that we have open discussion if needed concerning it.
So we don't have to, it's just changing the zoning, or what are we? I'm a little bit confused.
Making an amendment basically to our comprehensive plan that we do through DCA, including this development or this project as something that we would like to see move forward.
Okay.
Basically, then a letter of recommendation to include it in our plan so that we can receive support from DCA.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So we're not obligated in any way moving forward.
Good enough.
Okay, because we already have 3 homes there. I've gone 3 times for the Marine, the Navy, and Army person, right?
Right.
So,
right.
okay.
So there are 5 houses left.
Okay, thank you.
No question, comment? We'll take this up on Monday night then for a vote. Thank you, Ms. Williams. Next item, consider a request for approval of a development plan for Duncan for .59 acres at 5620 Highway 92, located land lot 53, District 1, Section 5, Parcel 92, for plans dated November 20th, 2019, application by Barkat Kolobawala. Is there someone here that would like to discuss that? Ms. Williams, are you going to handle that at this moment?
I will, and the applicant is here as well. Okay.
Fine, thank you.
All right. Patrice Williams, 6701 Church Street, Community Development Director. The applicant is seeking redevelopment of a non-residential project per City of Douglasville UDO Section 10.07. The preliminary development plan for property located at 5620 Georgia 92 Fairburn Road, land lot 53, District 1, Section 5, Parcel 092, Douglasville, Georgia. The proposal currently depicts a restaurant and allowable use at this location. The applicant has submitted proposed exterior elevations and a site plan. The current building is being rehabbed to reflect the application submitted to the zoning division. You will find attached the application, the site plan, and elevations. City staff has reviewed the application and attachments and has determined that the proposed plans meet development requirements of the UDO.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Would the applicant like to come forward and make any comments? Are there any questions that council or Madam Mayor might have concerning this development? Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record.
My name is Sundar Pillai. I live in Decatur, Georgia, 2777 Pathview Drive, and I'm the Chief Strategy Officer for the company. A little bit nervous, but I'm okay with a different accent. My roots go way back with Douglasville since 2007. We've got some businesses here, and we have actually promoted a lot of local people. They've become police officers in the local community. And the other one has been with Walmart, and he's a supervisor there. And we intend to put this Douglasville on the same path, hire more people within the community, promote them, and their success becomes our success. And that's what we've done all along in Douglasville. So if
That's
anybody
great.
has any
Thank you, sir.
questions.
I appreciate your willingness to work with us here at the city concerning a project. I know that this gateway to our city has been somewhat disrupted for the past number of years. I'm extremely excited myself about seeing that another location for Dunkin' Donuts would come back to this side of town, because we had one here many years ago that closed, and so I'm excited about it. I understand from speaking with Ms. Williams that the development plan is in place. All of the facades are approvable. Everything is ready to go from that standpoint. But you're actually going to use the building existing and reface it. You're not going to tear it down, correct?
Right.
Okay, good point. This is the old Bubba Max restaurant?
Yes,
next
that
to
is correct.
Pizza Hut, which I think was originally a Kentucky Fried Chicken, is that right?
A
Anybody?
long time ago, in 2008, it was Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yes.
Because I've been associated with this community since 2007. So I know Mrs. Winners, I know all the other businesses that went out, and Bubba Mac, after KFC became Bubba Mac, and
Yes,
now we intend to put a Dunkin' Donut there.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Yes, Madam Mayor?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Welcome. We're excited. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts type of person. I'm looking at the plans and all of that, so the drive-through will not be as congested. I'm not saying anything about our other Dunkin' Donuts. It won't be as congested.
It won't be as congested as Highway 5.
And you don't have Dunkin' Donuts, you just have Dunkin'. That's because you have croissants and everything else now?
No, the Dunkin' Donut company itself has changed the name to Dunkin'. So it's basically the same thing. They've changed their logo and their signage to indicate only Dunkin'.
But we can still get donuts there too,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. You'll have donuts, you'll have coffee.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you, ma'am.
Chairman.
Yes,
Thank you so
yes.
much.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Mr.
We
Chair.
still, Mr.
Sir?
We still have.
I wasn't going to drill you or anything like that, but I actually had the opportunity to attend a vendors seminar a number of years ago for architects to design Dunkin' Donuts, and I was impressed by the level of interest that Dunkin' corporate, if that's such a thing, has in design. I was definitely impressed. It goes all the way down to, the shape and color of the countertops and how the coffee machine fits on the counter, things like that. It was nice to see that. Not to mention all the detail that goes into the outside of the building. I mean, there's a definite level of design awareness. So I was impressed by that. So appreciate you.
Thank you so
bringing
much.
another one into the community. Thank you very much.
I was not trying to run away.
Others?
Thank you so much.
Other questions, comments?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Chairman Adams. Just one question. So I see you did not consider to add ice cream, Baskin Robbins, as a combination?
Not Baskin Robbins at this location. The size of the building has to be bigger in order for us to put Baskin Robbins, and unfortunately, we could not do that.
Oh, no ice cream. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. I'm glad to see that there's going to be a Dunkin' on this end of town as well. Thank you.
Thank
There
you.
are others? Sir, we hope that this has not been too painful an experience for you to come in, and we'd ask you to come back on Monday night at 6, and we'll
I
take
come
action on
here
this
every
item.
day. Actually, I was cleaning up the inside of the restaurant.
Okay.
So because there were unwanted activity, so we just wanted to clean the place up and board it. And so I come here pretty much every day if I'm in town.
We'll take it up on Monday at 6 o'clock. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item, item C. Refer to the Planning Commission a proposal for a change in zoning from R2 Single Family Residential Detached District to LI Light Industrial District for 1.7 acres on Eastfield Drive in land lot 823, District 18, Section 2, parcel 138, application by the city of Douglasville. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. This referral is intended to give Mayor and Council an opportunity to review this item that was presented to us by a resident here in the city. Since being brought to staff's attention, we acknowledge there's been some oversight by staff some time ago processing the parcels in the area owned by the individual. We only ask that you refer this item to the Planning Commission so that this item can be given an opportunity to be heard and discussed in an open forum.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Questions, comments of council? Madam Mayor?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I would just say for this change in zoning that I've been to the site, and it makes perfect sense for this to be light industrial, not residential. It is surrounded by residential, and I don't know if it was what type of plan that I saw, but it looked like it was a commercial facility, and there's commercial in front of it, so it really fits. And I don't know who did UDO and all of the things we've done in the past, but I think it would be prudent for us to look at it and send it to the refer it to the Planning Commission to have an opportunity to kind of fix it to make it make better sense where it's located. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Others? Seeing none, we'll vote on this on Monday night and go forward then. Thank you very much, Ms. Williams. One more item. Reappoint Ms. Elaine Penley Sears to the Historic Preservation Commission for a term expiring January 31st, 2023.
Sir, Chelsea Jackson, 6695 Church Street, Douglasville, Georgia. Ms. Elaine Penley Sears has served on the HPC for the past 3 years and would like to be reappointed. There are no other individuals that are interested in serving on this board in this position at this time.
Thank you. Comments, questions? And you're sure that Ms. Elaine would like to be reappointed? She's not here to verify that.
Yes, sir. I have an email saying she would like to be reappointed.
Many times we vote people into places when they don't show up.
I always verify with them first.
No need to re-interview this individual. Anyone? I appreciate her service, and we look forward to that. I would we'll take that up on Monday night, unless we're okay to place it on the consent agenda.
I'm okay with consent.
I'm fine with it. Thank you. Would you do that, please? Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Jackson. That's all that we have tonight, Madam Mayor, under Planning and Development.
Thank you so much, Mr. Planning and Development Committee Chairperson. We'll move on to Public Improvement and Beautification Committee, and that's chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're
We do have
welcome.
one item this evening, and that is to authorize the mayor to sign an agreement with the Douglas County Water and Sewer Authority for service at the city's Cedar Mountain Road facility. Thank you. Ms. Hampton.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Essentially, this is to allow us to have water service at the Cedar Mountain Road facility when we open it up. So we do have to sign that agreement with our water authority. Any questions?
Well, absolutely. I think we've come this far. It seems pretty cut and dry, but do you guys have any questions?
Only question I have was basically a comment. Ms. Hampton, our city manager, if you can tell us when the groundbreaking, no, it's not a groundbreaking, this is a ribbon cutting. It's going to be done. It's the 17th of February?
It is the 17th of February at 3:30.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So just for the viewing public, they can come and see this new facility on the 17th of February at 3:30. It's a ribbon cutting, not a groundbreaking. So that's
In
exciting.
the doors, walking in with keys.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
It's
Madam
very
Chair.
exciting.
Thank you.
Well, if there's no further discussion, can we put that on the consent agenda? You guys, nothing? Crickets?
Mhm.
All right, thank you. We have nothing else.
Thank you so much. We'll move on to Public Relations Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No business from Public Relations this evening.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to Public Safety Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I have a couple of items, starting with item A, hold a public hearing to consider a request for a change in agent outlet manager for the alcoholic beverage license for the retail package sale of wine and malt beverage at the following establishment. Licensing Ingalls Market, INC, DBA Ingalls Marketing, INC, number 432, location 2175 Fairmont Road. Current agent outlet manager, Keith E. Helton. Proposed agent outlet manager, Dusty F. Thompson. The required fees have been paid into the finance department. State your name, please, and address. Thank you.
Yes, Dusty Thompson, 2175 Fairburn Road, Douglas, Georgia.
And right now, our council probably will drill you pretty hard. And glad you came out today. And I have a question. How do you go about training your employees for alcohol and I guess cigarettes?
We have a system called Community Learning that is done through our computers at work, and they sit down and go through all the programs for sales for alcohol, tobacco, beer and wine and everything.
Okay, now we hear from our council.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am.
We're not going to grill you hard. He was just kidding with you. It's not going to be very painful. Chief, have we had any issues at Ingalls? All right, thank you. That's all I had. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Councilman
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Ma'am, could I ask a question, please? And I don't mean to belabor the item. Could you tell us how long you've been employed in the industry as far as the sale of alcohol?
For Ingalls or just total?
For Ingalls.
For Ingalls, 12 years.
12 years. So are you already there at that location, just becoming the alcohol manager for the location?
Yes, I've been there
Okay.
for 7 months at that Fairburn Road.
Okay. Thank you. That's all that I had. Thank you very much, Mr.
Yes,
Davis.
sir. Thank you.
ma'am.
Do we have any other council members? Okay, now we're gonna hold a public hearing. In that public hearing, we give everybody 5 minutes to come down and speak against Ingalls. And then we give 5 minutes for those who speak for Ingalls. So at this time, we call it all takers down to for against. Searching around, look like we have no takers. So now we're going to ask for the ones who speak for Ingalls. Like we have no takers, and I'm going to close the public hearing and come back on Monday, ma'am, and we'll give you an answer, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for coming out.
Welcome.
Okay, let's go to item B, Madam Mayor. We're going to consider request for the approval to install no parking signs along both sides of Wood Road to prohibit overnight parking of commercial vehicles on the public streets located land lot 163, District 2, Section 5, Parcel 12 and 21, application by Jason Rawling, SL Bright Star LLC. Yes, ma'am.
Reese Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. This item will address issues and concerns expressed by the applicant regarding big trucks parking along Wood Road. This road is currently owned by the applicant, and they're requesting that they be allowed to place no parking signs along Wood Road at their own expense.
Oh, okay. I like that. So, council, you have any?
Yes, Mr. Davis, I have a question
sir.
for Ms. Williams. Ms. Williams, basically Wood Road has now been privatized as far as that part of the road itself, and it now being a private street. They just want to be able to control the parking along that corridor where they have access and ingress and egress in and out of their facilities, right?
That too, and big trucks are parking there overnight.
Right.
And so they want to put these signs up. So the road is currently owned by the company, and at some point they will turn it over to the city, but it's currently owned by the applicant.
As it has been redeveloped, it hasn't yet been rededicated to the city as a city street.
Right.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Okay, any other questions? If the council will, I'd like to put this on the consent agenda for Monday. Okay, like I see the nods. Thank you. I'd like to put it on the consent agenda, Madam Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilman Davis. We'll move on to item 14, which is Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee, and that's chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have one
Welcome.
item tonight. Authorize the mayor to sign a 2020 loan agreement between the National Museum of the United States Air Force and the City of Douglasville for the period of April 1st, 2020 through March 31st, 2021 for the display of an F-105D aircraft at the city's Airplane Memorial in Hunter Park. I'm assuming that this is a annual, well, of course it is. How long have we had this?
Been a long time.
Littlefield, do you know?
15, okay.
Yeah, so we've been doing this as an annual agreement. We have to do this each year
Right.
for the Air Force. So it's our standard agreement. Nothing has changed.
questions?
I was just curious if our city manager being Air Force, is that correct?
Navy,
Navy, I'm sorry, I'll retract my question.
that's okay. Thank you.
I'm glad you retracted that before she came,
No,
she
before
came
she
over
could
the
tell us.
dais. That you're handicapped as it is with
Order.
point of order. I'm sorry.
It's
Okay,
just-
Madam Mayor, that's all we had tonight. I'd like to ask that to be placed on the consent agenda.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach. We'll move on then to item 15, which is Technology Committee. That's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have
You're
one
welcome.
item under the Technology Committee at this time, and that is to authorize the mayor to sign a service agreement with Consumer Security Services, Inc. for security and fire alarm monitoring services for city facilities.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Madam Mayor, Council. Beginning of this year.
Give us
our
your name,
previ-
Brother Sam.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sam Jenkins, IT Manager, 6695 Church Street.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
So, beginning of this year, our previous company we had monitoring all fire and then a security alarm went out of business unexpectedly. So we had to expedite and go ahead and get 3 quotes to go ahead and get somebody else on board. So the company that we chose was Consumers Security Services. He came with great reference from the local water authority and also the fire department. They use them as well, and also the Welcome Center in Tallapoosa. They all gave good reference for us today. They have absolutely fast response time, things like that, and the price stayed pretty much the same. The other urgent to get it expedited is why we had to move on it quickly, because our Cedar Mountain coming on board needed also fire monitoring as well in order to get approval from the fire marshal. So the company stepped up and said they would be able to do it, gave us some quote, and we asked that you pretty much sign and we'll get approved.
We have any questions or comments from members of the council?
I do, Mr. Mayor Pro
Madam Mayor?
Tem. This is very quick, Mr. Jenkins. I just wanted to know about, of course, cybersecurity is very serious now,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we don't want any breaches. Do they have any protection, or do they give us a level of comfort if something were to happen? We don't want any of our documentation or,
Yes, ma'am. So-
sensitive data to get out.
Yes, ma'am. So this company right here mainly does just security, physical security monitoring for the buildings, facilities, and also
Okay.
fire monitoring. So, but for cybersecurity, we're also looking at things for that as well. We got something coming up pretty soon. Know Before that we're using and other things like that. We're gonna be pushing out very soon. And then we also got some scanning, that company that we're looking at as well to start doing some scans for as well. So that cybersecurity also coming up, because I'm with you that is absolutely notorious out there in the world now. Cybersecurity, that is the new way of crimes.
Okay, oh, so this is not a firewall.
No, ma'am.
This
that's not
is like a
firewall.
physical security.
Yes, ma'am.
Like the
More fire alarm than firewall.
Fire alarm and fire alarm,
Okay.
and also security of the facilities.
Okay, thank you.
That being said, though, I think that we, council members, probably could use another seminar on cybersecurity. I think some of us here are probably as guilty as anybody, and because that's become a very serious issue. We've seen recently a number of municipalities that have been basically blackmailed for their data. So we have to take it serious, and I think council members wouldn't hurt to have another go around on a seminar for that,
Okay,
or a little
good.
workshop for us.
We would definitely get that going, because we're definitely looking at that and got that pretty much in like a high pursuit to go ahead and start getting our system scanned. We have found some holes, closed some holes, but we know we got some things that we got to pretty much take care of that we are pretty much looking at. And like we said, also training and also awareness of it as well. We know how serious that is. We plan on pretty much pushing out stuff weekly or bi-weekly to the users to pretty much train the users not to click this, not to click that. Because even though we have firewalls and things like that in place, but it only take one user getting duped to pretty much expose the whole entire city. So pretty much training and awareness.
If you don't recognize the sender, don't click on it, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it
That
always
being
good. It always good. We say to pretty much, if you're in doubt, don't click. Just call the person up on the phone. Call the person up to ensure, because a lot of these hackers are pretty much they do a lot of research and homework when making their email look legit. Pretty much finding out who your bosses are. So they pretty much go that route there to pretty much have you emotional when you want to do a good job or you want to do something for your boss. So you're not thinking clearly when you get it. So you're going to pretty much click that button and we're gonna pretty much train not to pretty much do that. Always call your boss up if you're in doubt, if it don't seem right. And a lot of time too, grammar and things like that too. But we'll go on with things like that. But we got that pretty much coming up to help keep us safe, the city.
Thank you, sir. No other comments or questions? If there's no objection, I'd like to place this item on the consent agenda. Madam Mayor, we have no other items under the Technology Committee at this time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. We'll move on to our last agenda item for committees, which is Transportation Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No items tonight under transportation.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Is there any other business to come before council this evening from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any, then we'll go on to our updates from city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dodson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Chief Assistant City Attorney, Ms. Susan Littlefield.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Chief of Police, we have something going on, Chief Sparks? What? The police department is not having a town hall, or?
We just did our D-Cup in the community, so we have one coming up here pretty soon.
Yes, sir. Pretty quiet. And you all did a report that's on the city's website and Facebook page. I know that you just presented some data to the community.
Our annual end of the year report, and the citizens can go to our Facebook page as well as the city Facebook page and look at the different things that the police department has done this year, the service we have rendered as far as it relates to tickets, crime, demographic. So it gives a lot of information so that the public will be aware of how we are going about serving the community. So we ask that our people look at it and give us feedback.
Yes, sir. Brief synopsis, crime is down.
Yes.
That's good. Thank you so much, Chief. We'll move on to our city manager, Ms. Marsha Hampton. Oh, Assistant City Manager, Ms. Chelsea Jackson.
Yes, ma'am. Just wanted to inform you all or remind you all that you have another ribbon cutting. It'll be the Lighten Project on Plaza East, which is on February 13th at 4 p.m.
A light project.
In the alley, yes.
The DDA do this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's a Main Street project.
Very exciting. All righty. Staff reports. We have any staff reports? No? Any comments from citizens and delegates? If you sustain the meeting and you'd like to speak to us, you're welcome to come to the podium and give us your name and address for the record. And you have 5 minutes to address the council. We'd love to hear from you. And there's a form you should have filled out at the desk. But if you have not filled that out, then you can do it after. Okay, thank you, Ms. Vicky.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Everyone. My name is Mr. Albert Massey Sr.
Yes, sir.
And I stay at 7831 Lakecrest Road. Anyway, I don't want to take too much of y'all time.
You're fine.
But my major concern is safety in the streets. They're building roads, but they don't give us no direction. They don't give us diagrams where we should go left, right, or whatever. You're dealing with a senior citizen. My wife, she's a senior citizen. There's plenty more. But their safety should be concerned. It should be a big concern about their health and welfare. So whatever major projects that they're doing, the people who's in charge should have informed all the citizens on that block or in that community. But we're not getting those services. So I just don't want to, take too much of your time. I just want to touch bases with you on this issue.
Yes, sir.
And this is a very important issue.
Yes,
It's
sir.
not all about dollars and bucks. Because they build them, but they get a check every weekend, whatever they get paid. But what about the people who don't live lost? We had a hard time finding you guys. So what you gonna do? Close your eyes on it or ignore it? Can't do that. Got too many years on this earth. I can show y'all things in my wallet. I wore a uniform during the Vietnam era. And I came out home with a nice discharge. So help these people. They're somebody's aunt, uncle, father, mama. Help them out. That's all I got to say.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for your service, and
Yes,
we
ma'am.
appreciate
Thank
your time. Now, are you speaking of Highway 92 and all that, the road projects?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So we'll make certain that we speak with GDOT. We do have weekly meetings, and so Georgia Department of Transportation is really the driver, but we'll make certain that we have documentation and information. They said they were going to pass out things to the citizens
We haven't
to have
received
this.
anything, ma'am.
And I'm
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
I did not get the address. Did you say Hillcrest? What's the address?
Lake Crest Way,
Where is Lake Crest?
7831.
Is that the city? Lake,
Yeah, it's near here. You can almost walk.
On the north side?
Lake Crest Way.
Right
I'm
where
sorry,
the-
if you don't
All
want to.
blocked up.
Lake Ridge. Lake,
Yeah, we can't. We
Okay.
don't. We can't even get to town.
Lake Ridge.
Lake Ridge.
Lake Ridge.
Okay.
Okay, that's where you are. All right. Okay, thank you.
And then we got doctor's appointments.
Yes, sir.
How are we gonna get there? It's all scrambled up.
Well, thank you
Like
so
you're
much.
doing a jigsaw puzzle.
I'm sorry that
Rough.
it's
It's
been
rough.
difficult for you. We're under construction. We'll make certain that we get some signage up so that you can know the direction that you need to go.
Please do.
Yes, sir.
And
Thank
I
you for your
appreciate
time.
Each and
Yes,
every
sir.
one of y'all. Just try do the best you can,
Yes, sir.
because you're not gonna please everyone. I'll tell you that now. Everyone is not gonna never be pleased, but I bring that to your attention.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Are there any other citizens that'd like to make comment? We ask that you would come forward and give your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to talk to us about what you want to talk about. Okay. Well, we don't see anyone else. Is there any other business to come before council this evening? Not seeing any then, this meeting is adjourned.